Welcome to hour 2 of GTU. Happy 2023. It feels like a new year, does it?
It always does to me. Don't you think there's always like a fresh energy? I swear there's something that feels different in the air.
Well, when it's a collective like newness, I think we can get all on board of something that we can try, we can challenge ourselves. Exactly. What do you think, Ro?
No, I love it. I always feel that it's a reset, right? Go ahead and evaluate, see the things that maybe you just lacked on a little bit, and especially when you're around a really cool squad where you can go ahead and chat and just kind of lift yourself up and kind of support.
Is he still
amazing.
Distracting though? Is he distracting without telling us
what he's doing?
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
We might keep him around. I don't know.
Fine, we'll do it.
All right. Okay, let's start with this. How to make 8 ways to live more fully in 2023. Are you ready for this?
Yes, that's one of my goals this year, just to be more present and intentional. Tell me.
Well, it is mindset, it is intention, and I felt last night I was just scrolling to find these inspirational, motivational tips because it just gets you revved up for the year and be more present. Okay, so let's start with number 1, and that is called the right view. You're seeing the truth of ourselves and the world. So it is kind of intentional, right?
Yeah.
Seeing what's
what
right
is
for you.
What's present, yes.
Okay, the right intention is another thing, and that can go with what your mindset is of the time. That means you can have these cravings, jealousies, and hatred. Those are strong words, but it's how you act. What do you follow through on, and how can you be kinder? How can you cultivate that intention?
I like that. The thoughts that maybe pass through and feelings we can allow to pass, and we don't have to feed or fuel them so much, right?
Yes. And then this one is the right speech. What you say and what you say to yourself. Right?
I love it. Self-awareness. It encompasses all that. What am I feeling? How do I communicate that? And how do they interpret my communication?
And truly, that speaks to me a lot of how you speak to yourself, right? Because oftentimes we dismiss it or we don't even realize we might be pretty negative about ourselves. All right, the right effort, you're hitting it just the right spot. Like not too much effort, but not on the lazy end.
I like that too, because then there's not a lot of pressure. You're just kind of giving yourself grace while still pursuing your goals.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then there comes the right mindfulness, right mindset in terms of maybe you might try some meditation. Start that in the new year.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Do you find that when you do set these resolutions, it can be hard for them to stick? Sometimes we come out of the gate January 1st, guns blazing, and then a couple weeks later we're like, start to go maybe.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that
off the wagon.
sounds like a great idea, but can we follow through long term?
I thought this was perfect to talk about because these are from a psychologist. They're evidence-based tips for helping those resolutions stick. So this first one is an interesting one because we talk a lot about manifesting. So they say go ahead and manifest, but understand what works about manifesting. Some people might be a little bummed to hear this, but this psychologist said there's no evidence suggesting that manifesting will help you get a goal, but don't abandon all hope. If you feel like this does work for you, if you feel like it's right for you, just be sure to back it up with some solid goal setting advice.
I know it's one of those things where you have to put effort into this manifesting, and then does it work, and is it a placebo effect?
I know, I wonder that too. I think maybe a little bit, but as long as you're still being active, I like it. So be strategic about with who you share your goals with. So there's a school of thought that suggests speaking your goal out loud and sharing it is going to keep you accountable, but they say that can also have the opposite effect. And you can start to think, oh, I've already done it because I've talked about it, and you might not be as proactive.
Oh no, and you get complacent.
Yeah.
I do think though with manifesting and writing things down, drawing things or cutting out things from magazines, that it is in the forefront of your mind, so it's hard to get away from it. So then all your focus and all your intention can go to those goals.
Exactly. I wake up and I see that vision board, and immediately it's in my mind at the start of the day, right?
Would you do that?
Yes.
You do?
I totally do. It's because it's that reminder, what are my goals, what am I trying to do, and it's just constantly there, always looking at me. But like you said, I can't just talk about it. I need to go ahead and do those actions.
Wait, so do you really have a vision board?
I do.
You do?
Yes, exactly.
Where is it in your closet, your house?
It's right by my workstation, right? So when I
at work.
When I wake up, oh no, so I have one at work, and then I also have one at home. But the one at work is like under, it's in one of my drawers. So that way when I open it up and I reach for some supplies, because it's for me. right? It
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily need to be for other people.
I like
Yeah.
that.
That way I know my goals and I know where, what I want to do.
I like that too.
Oh
I
my
think I might copy you.
gosh.
I want to do that this month. Okay, be proactive and deliberate about goal setting. They do this model of WOOP. It stands for Wish, Outcome, Obstacle, and Plan. So you've got a little way to help you get there to that end goal. This is a good one too. Get to know your personality type and how it affects goal setting. Utilize the power of small clustered goals. Break off little bite sizes. They talk about this if you're learning to maybe run a marathon. You just do a little minute more at a time and you work towards the long game. So I like all of those. I feel like those are doable, keep you accountable, but they give you a plan.
I like the plan. I wonder if you can incorporate both because I need some organization with that plan, right? So maybe the vision board may work.
Totally. Did you just say whoop?
Yep.
She sure
I
did.
love that because I'd be walking around saying whoop whoop all the time.
I like it too.
That's awesome. Wait,
We're in.
That's the
yes,
best
we're
acronym.
in.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready for this one?
So ready.
Okay, so the big dating trends of 2023.
Oh.
You ready? Okay.
Let's
The
go.
theme of 2023 is the possibility and positivity. Something
Okay.
about- yeah, okay, we
Okay.
can go with that. All right, number one trend, budget conscious dates are in.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
Because inflation, everything's expensive. Who wants a big,
Sure.
huge meal?
Yeah. What are their tips? Do they have some examples?
No, just Bumble.
You just have to, you
Just-
don't go overboard.
Right,
You don't have to spend
overboard.
hundreds of
So
dollars on a
Bumble is-
dinner.
Right. So
Okay.
Bumble is saying a third of the people who are users start to look at their financial boundaries. They're looking at, you know what, I can't, if I'm going on 10 dates, I can't really spend big, huge meals.
10
right?
dates, baller.
Yeah.
Look
Right.
at that.
Yeah.
I just made that up. But okay, and 57% shared that they prefer a more low-key and less costly date than something over the top and fancy. Fancy
Especially
is
for a
fancy.
first date.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah. But what about something more meaningful, right? Thoughtful. As you're getting to know the other person, oh, I know they like X, Y, and Z. Maybe I do something there, right? But I like do it yourself.
DIY.
Yes,
Make a
exactly.
vision board together.
Boom,
Right.
there you
There
go.
you go.
Well, Jill, our executive producer, she said her favorite outing and activity was painting.
Oh yeah, the paint night.
Paint night. So that can be something low key.
Awesome.
Okay, number two, non-monogamy is on the rise. May not be for everyone, but this is what some experts say. Being more open-minded to different types of relationships can widen your dating pool. Right? So you may have some missed opportunities, say that you go all in with one person.
I'm wondering about the details behind that, whether it's like, you know, because sometimes you date maybe, you know, different people, but
Right.
you're communicating that before you jump into that committed relationship with the person that you vibe with more, that your goals are set with more and all that stuff.
I like
right?
that rationale.
I
though.
do too. Explore a little bit before you decide.
Totally commit.
Exactly.
All right, number three, more women are making the first move. That's according to some people like Bumble.
Yes.
I like that too.
Yes.
I do
Yes.
that
Finally,
often.
this
Do we
generation's
like
getting
that,
it.
Ro? Do guys like that? Because I will do
love
that. I
It depends
totally
on,
do that.
Depends on the personality, right? But it's just,
Sure.
it's all about communication. And if they can communicate those kinds of feelings instead of just thinking that it needs to be one-sided, then maybe it just kind of sets
Takes
everything
the
on an
pressure,
equal.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Equal,
There's no
equal playing
rules.
field.
No
So,
rules.
Okay, Cupid, I think that's another app, I guess. More than 8 in 10 women said they would send the first message, and it's benefiting them.
Okay.
So 8 in 10, so that's a lot.
Does this say anything about the 24-hour rule where I can't text until like 24 hours
Is that
after?
still a
No, that
thing?
should be next. Is that, I
Okay.
know, is that a
Do
thing?
we do that still?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I gotta ask my
We're
girlfriend
on our
about
own
all this.
time frame. Okay, 4, sober dates are sexy. Huh. Who knew? A vast majority, 75% of Hinge users report that they no longer prefer first dates with alcohol that
Wow.
involve drinking. Okay? So
That's
maybe it
interesting.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
date
don't feel
night
like you
without,
have to.
Right?
Especially again, getting to know somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You can go for a little drink.
Do something
That's
active.
not
I mean, go
alcohol.
paint, go roller skating. That
Go
would be an
for a
ideal
walk.
first date.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, number 5, situationships are in.
Are in.
That's
What?
kind of the same thing with the non-monogamy a little bit, right? Instead of looking at it as a lack of commitment, Ro, you're saying it relieves that pressure. So you're putting more emphasis on the connection more than I'm committed to you.
Well, I think it totally depends on what you are going for. What is it you want? And if you're not looking for that committed relationship, if you're like, I don't want somebody in my space all day, every day right now, then maybe a little situationship is fine.
Right. So you're really developing a relationship, friendship, instead of saying, well, you're the only one.
I'm
Right?
not mad about it.
Yep.
Not mad about it, right?
Yep, totally.
So that's totally in. And then lastly is the emotional vulnerability is more important than ever, which I love this so much. So more men are addressing toxic masculinity.
Wow.
So like when you just talked about the vision board, I think
Yeah.
that is so cool.
I do too. I agree with that last one.
So
100%.
instead of the height, it says you might want to share your love language.
Oh, there we go.
What's your love language, Ro?
Gift giving.
Gift giving.
Gift giving.
Oh, I wouldn't think that.
What about yours?
Mine is words of affirmation. Words. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like mine used to be words, but now maybe more acts of service, like help me clean my house and put away
we go.
baby toys. That'd be great.
And I think we've talked about it before on the show. I think there's a mixture. Like
Yeah.
touch, words can also almost be interchangeable too, I think.
And I'm sure we're all, like, we need them all to various degrees, and I think it changes depending on the stage of our lives, too.
Yeah. So you're a gift giver.
Well, and the essence that it doesn't have to be big. It's just little things to remind me of how much I love or how much I respect this person
Right.
that is around me, right? But also on the other way, you just get something little and you're like, oh, thank you, you know?
Well, it's the
Perks you up.
meaning. It's
Yeah.
like the words. Like if you write down the word, like the effort that you
Exactly.
took to write that card. It's the
Exactly.
effort that it took, like the thoughtfulness of the present.
It
that you're
is.
given.
It's a big deal. Those
like
little things are everything. We like it, Ro. You are just passing with flying colors.